So now we've got most of the UI done on our profile page. Of course, a lot of this doesn't work yet, like the follow button and the followers count and stuff. So we'll come back and add those later. Oh, as well as the tabs as well. They don't do anything when you click them. So obviously we've got some functionality to add still, but visually it's mostly done. What we'll do just to finish off this UI section is to add the posts down here, just load them. This should be pretty straightforward. We're going to call pretty much all code we've already written before. So let's first create our profile.js file, because if you look in profile-page.pug, right at the bottom, we load profile.js as a file, but we don't have that file yet. So let's go to our JS folder right here, and create a new file inside there, and this will be called profile.js. And the first thing we'll do is create a document.ready. So document.ready. And then of course we'll add the code block we want to run once the document is ready. So once the page is loaded, everything it needs to, this is the code we're going to run. And what are we going to do? Now we of course want to load the posts, but we're going to want to do something different depending what tab we're on. So if we're on the replies tab, we're going to want to load the replies, whereas if we're on the post tab, we want to load the posts instead, like all this user's posts. So I'll tell you what, we'll just load all the posts for now. So we'll just load all the user's posts like this, and we'll come back and do the replies part once we come to implement the tab system. So for now, let's just call a function called load posts. Load posts like this. And we'll create that function down here. Load posts, and in here is where the magic's going to happen. So we'll take code we've already written. If I go to home.js, we'll take this code right here, this one that loads the posts there, and I'll paste that inside the load posts function. Now I think this this post route here takes an object. I think we did that. Let me just open up the post root.js. No, not this one. Sorry, the post. What do I want? Post API or something like that. Post.js it's called. Okay, so just post.js. If I open that and go to that handler right there. Okay, so we didn't actually add anything which allows us to pass in any data yet. So we can do that in here. Okay, so we're going to want to utilize a post object in here in order to allow us to get certain types of posts. So how this is going to work is in profile.js, we're going to pass an object right here. So put the curly brackets and then a comma right there, like that. And then inside there is where we'll put the data that we want to pass through to this Ajax call. What do we want to pass through? Well, we will pass posted by, and it's going to be this this user. Now we want to pass in the user's ID or the profile user's ID, but we don't actually have access to that here. If you look here, we have the profile user object right here, but this is only available to us while we're in the template. Once we've rendered the template, we don't have access to pug variables anymore. So what we need to do is add a variable for the user's username, just like we did. I think it was in home.pug. Let me scroll up. Was it? No, it might. No, it was actually in the main layout. So I'll open up the main layout, and you'll see we did this right here. So I'm going to copy this line from main layout, and I'll paste it in profile-page.pug, right at the top of the else block. And I'll change this. We're not going to have user logged in. It's going to be profile user ID, and the value of this is going to be profile user dot_ID. So if we save that, that should work now. Oh, this needs to be inside of a string because the ID is going to be a string like that. And let's give that a save, and I think we have access to that in here now. So here we should have the profile user ID. Now if I save that, it might work. Let's refresh the page. So now it loaded the posts, but did it work with the profile user ID? Let's find out. If I go to if I go to, where are we? Profile.js, I'll set a breakpoint here and just make sure we have access to that variable. So profile user ID, yeah, that's right. So it's okay, it works. And I'll play that. And yeah, so it's loaded posts right now. Of course, it's just loaded everything because although we've added this, we haven't actually done anything with it. So it's still just ignoring it and loading all the posts as it does normally. But we will utilize this and make it only load posts posted by this user.